Hello everybody, this is Abyssinian aka Abyss from Ladies of Destiny, and this is our raid guide for the Omnotron defense mechanism encounter within the Blackwing Descent. Today we'll be covering every detail that you need to know about this fight. If you wish to see other raid boss guides, make sure to visit our YouTube channel as well as our blog for more detailed information. The Omnotron defense systems share a health pool, and you must switch to the neutron when it becomes active. Warning is given as the generator on the back wall starts channeling power to them. If the beam is blue, Electron will become active next. Likewise, red for Magnetron, green for Toxicron, and purple for Arcanotron. All trons start with 100 power or energy as they become active. This power decreases the longer they are active regardless of the amount of abilities they use. When a tron reaches 50 power, it will put up a shield and a neutron will become active. All DPS should stop attacking the shielded tron and continue DPS on the neutron. First, we will explain Arcanotron's abilities. Arcanotron's main damaging ability is Arcane Annihilator, where he will shoot several arcane barrages at your raid. These can and should be interrupted at all times even after he reaches 50 energy. Set up a rotation with at least 2 to 3 interrupters, preferably one being the tank, on Arcanotron at all times while he is active to decrease the amount of damage from this ability. Arcanotron will also create a power generator under him periodically. This appears as a whirlpool on the ground that will increase the damage output of whoever's standing in it by 50%. That means your Arcanotron tank should move it out of the whirlpool. Ranged DPS should then move into this generator as soon as possible to maximize DPS. Melee can benefit as well if the boss is positioned close enough to it. Note that it is very crucial that Arcane Annihilator is interrupted to move him out of the power generator. In addition to this, the power generator also grants mana regeneration to healers and casters. Should mana longevity be a concern for your raid, this is one way to help with that. At 50 energy, Arcanotron will shield himself with power conversion. Any direct damage done to him will grant him a stacking buff that increases his casting speed and damage by 10% per stack. All DPS should swap to the neutron to prevent piling the stacks of this buff. Interrupters on Arcanotron should also stop attacking but continue to interrupt his cast. Any stacks of power conversion accumulated should then be spell stolen, purged, or dispelled by mages, shamans, or priests. The power conversion shield will fade after 10 seconds. The assigned interrupters can then continue to DPS and interrupt Arcanotron until he powers down and the next Tron becomes active. Next, we will explain Electron. Electron will do electrical discharge, which is basically chain lightning. Range should stay spread out as much as possible to negate the amount of damage. Electron will also cast Lightning Conductor on a raid member. This debuff works like static charge from other boss fights such as Freya from Oldor. The raid member will pulse with energy, dealing nature damage to anyone around them. Have the player run a good distance from the other raid members to lower the damage. At 50 energy, Electron will use Unstable Shield. This shield places an AoE damage debuff on whoever hits the shield with direct damage. Any DPS who have this debuff should stay away from others, and healers should be prepared to throw extra AoE heals. Next, Magnetron. Magnetron will do Incineration Security Measure. This is an AoE fire damage attack and is unavoidable. Your healers must heal through the damage. This damage, however, is mitigated through the use of resistant auras or totems. Magnetron will also target a random raid member with Flamethrower. It is indicated by an emote and a giant red beam following that player. This player should run away from the raid, and any raid members in between that player and Magnetron should also move to avoid extra damage. The player targeted should be healed and also use any self-defensive cooldowns to live through the Flamethrower. At 50 energy, Magnetron will use Barrier. This shield will absorb 300k damage and explode for 75k damage to everyone in the raid if the shield is broken. Dot classes should therefore stop on Magnetron at around 60 energy to avoid extra damage being done to the barrier. Last is Toxicron. Toxicron will cast a poison cloud on the ground randomly. This will deal no damage, but increase damage taken by 50% for anything standing in it. The current Tron being attacked should be dragged into this cloud to maximize DPS. This Tron's second ability is Poison Protocol. This will spawn several poison bombs that will each fixate on a different raid member. Melee DPS should back out until all the bombs have chosen their fixate raid members before continuing to help DPS them down. These poison bombs can and should be slowed as soon as possible. AoE slows such as Earthbind Totem and Frost Trap work very well for this, but do not hesitate to use single target slows as well. If a poison bomb reaches this target, it will explode, dealing damage to anyone around the target and leave a slime pool on the ground. At 50 energy, Toxicron will cast Poison Soaked Shell. This shield will put a poison debuff on anyone who deals direct damage to Toxicron. The debuff will deal 10k damage for every stack per second and should be dispelled as soon as possible. While adjusting for all these abilities, the fight becomes a cycle between all the Trons. While the initial order is random, once it is established, the raid can easily predict which Tron will be going active next, and can plan and position themselves ahead of time. Keep switching DPS from Tron to Tron, and the Trons will then all deactivate together once their shared health pool fully depletes. You have now completed the Omnotron defense mechanism encounter. Congratulations! This was Abyssinian, aka Abyss, bringing you yet another Ladies of Destiny Cataclysm Raid boss guide. If you want to see other boss guides, make sure to check both our channel and our website, and feel free to join our blog to participate on our discussions. Both links can be found in the description box below. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.